Hi, this is Christy from Time to Profit. And if you haven't met me first, let me just say what I do is I work with business owners who want to create more consistent revenue in their business. And I help them do that by creating sales strategies and building their sales skills so that they can find and win their dream clients. And I'm actually coming at you today from Spokane, Washington. I'm in my sister's basement. I have been out making sales calls for a client, and I'm going to be on the road for most of the rest of the day. So this background looks a little bit different. I'm not sure how the internet connection is going to be, but I did not want to miss you this Tuesday. I wanted to come at you live and give you some sales tips to help you start conversations so that you can find your own dream clients and have consistent revenue in your business. So let's just get right into it. Do you ever find yourself wondering what you're going to say to a client, or feeling nervous about a specific question they might ask, or feeling unsure of how to start a conversation, really struggling with how am I going to send this email, and just spending a lot of time procrastinating because you don't know what to say? If you do, you're not alone. This is super common. Sales is oftentimes already a little bit uncomfortable. It challenges us to go outside of our comfort zone. It challenges us to take leadership in terms of initiating conversations and connecting with people we might not know that well. And so wanting to have it perfect, wanting to know what to say, wanting to make sure that you know what direction you're going to go if they ask a question is perfectly normal, but it can also become a trap where then you start procrastinating because you don't have that. And instead of just going out and having those conversations, there's this block and you stop yourself. And the one tool I want to talk about today that will really help you with this is scripts. Now, here's what I want to say about creating sales scripts and sales templates. A lot of times, old school sales pros, myself included, resist scripts. They don't want to learn a script. They don't want to sound scripted. They want to be authentic and in the moment. And I totally hear that. So if you're saying, well, I don't want to just memorize what I'm going to say and say the same thing over and over, I want to be in the moment with my clients, I hear you. This is a normal thought. But here's the reality. When you're starting out, you want to be able to be present with your client or your prospect. If you are thinking about what you are going to say next, if you are not sure what you're going to say and you're thinking about doubt, or you're focused on the doubts that you have, that is going to cause you to be less present. You're actually going to be in your own mind thinking while they're talking, which means you're not going to be able to hear them as well as if you're not having to think about what you want to say. And this is why I recommend for everybody to create some core scripts and templates for conversations. The core scripts that you want to make sure that you have for the conversations with your customers are what you're going to say in an initial conversation, how you want to introduce yourself, what your appointment setting script is. So if your goal is to get an appointment or a consult to send more, what's the script? What are the words you're going to use to make that happen? Then once you're in that conversation, what are your key messages? Have that scripted out. And then what are the most common objections you get or questions you get? Script out those answers. And then what is your script for how you're going to move forward to the next process? Those scripts right there and those templates. Now you can do this both in email form, in a phone script. You can memorize it for if you're going out and talking with people in person. Those scripts are going to get you the basics of where you want to go. And what's going to happen is I want you to memorize those scripts. So now if you're sending emails or on the phone, you might not need to memorize them. You might be able to have them in front of you. If you're going to actually go out and initiate conversations in person, memorize them. This sounds ridiculous, and there's going to be a part of you that's going to rebel and say, I don't want to go in and I don't want to feel scripted. I get it. But the point isn't to deliver the script word for word, verbatim. The point is to be as comfortable talking about your product and starting conversations as possible, and have the confidence that you know the information inside and out so that you can actually be present and hear what the client is saying instead of thinking about what you're going to say in the moment. So the other thing I want to say about scripts that's really important is that the first time, your first draft of your script isn't going to be your final draft. What's going to happen is you're going to do a script. You're going to put out a script. You're going to create a script for a cold call, for example. And I will post some examples for you guys on the blog, mytimetoprofit.com, where you can download some example scripts and some templates to create your own scripts. When you have those scripts, you're going to say it out loud and you're going to say, oh my God, this sounds so awful. I don't want to use this script. Or you're going to be using a script that you think sounds great, but you're not going to get a lot of resonance with your customers, or you're going to get questions, and you're going to tweak it as you go along. That's perfectly normal. You can be open to changing the script. The point of the script isn't to say verbatim what's on the script. It's to give you a tool to have the confidence knowing that you know what to say, and then to test that message, make adjustments, build consistency in your sales message so that you can get data and get better. So your homework today is to create those core scripts that we talked about. What's your initial email introduction script? Or I shouldn't say email. What's your initial introduction script? What's your appointment setting script? What is your presentation script or your key message script and how you talk about your product? What is your script for the common questions that you get or common objections you get? What are those answers? And what is the script for how you want to move the conversation forward? Those are the core scripts that you're going to need to be successful. Draft those out. I'm going to give you some examples and templates, and then play with them, learn them, and memorize them. And what you will find is that by doing that, you will actually be able to be more in the moment than you would if you didn't have them, which will help you to be more authentic and more present. So if you haven't already, make sure to join the private Time to Profit Facebook group. We will get you approved, and then there will be resources for you at the mytimetoprofit.com website, some specific templates that you can use around scripts to help you create your own and customize those. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you next week.